So we want to talk today, we want to discuss the logarithmic scales. So in certain situation, if you want to measure some quantities, for example, you want to measure the intensity of earthquakes, or you want to measure the pH of like
the chemistry stuff.
Chemistry, like acidity or alkaline, okay? So we use logarithmic scales, or if you want to measure the intensity of sound, okay? In these scenarios, we usually use logarithmic scales. So for example, for the earthquake, there is a scale which is called Richter scale. Richter scale for earthquakes. And Richter is named after an American scientist whose name was Richter, okay? So we use logarithm with base 10 to measure the intensity of the earthquake. That means if you have like the magnitude of like this, the earthquake is equal to log of the intensity. I is intensity. Or more precisely, so when we want to compare two magnitudes like M1 and M2, M1 minus M2 is equal to log of I1 over I2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is the main formula for the magnitudes of earthquake in terms of the intensities. So if I tell you the magnitude of one earthquake is like 7, and the magnitude of the other earthquake is like say 6.5, what are the differences? What are the differences between the intensities? Okay. And by the way, before we get to this, and you should always remember that this is the logarithmic equation. We have also the exponential equation. Can you tell me what is the exponential equation that is equivalent to this equation? So you can say that I1 over I2 is equal to 10 to the power M1 minus M2, right?
Mm.
Because when you say that log of like X equal to A, that means X is equal to 10 to the power A, right?
Mm-hmm.
So always remember the relation between a logarithmic equation and the equivalent exponential equation. So you can use these two equations interchangeably, right? Okay, so if two magnitudes, the magnitudes of two earthquakes are like 7 and 6.5 Richter, so what are the differences between the intensities? So M1 is 7 Richter. So you can say I1 divided by I2 is log of, 10 to the power, is 10 to the power, what?
0.5.
0.5. So that means, that is the square root of 10. What is the square root of 10? Approximately.
3 point something.
3 point something. That means the one earthquake is 3 times more intense than the other one. So that means I1 is equal to a square root of 10 times I2. It's like 3 times I2. So if the difference in magnitudes are like 1/2, then that means the one earthquake is about 3 times more intense of the other one, 3 times stronger than the other one, right?
Mm.
And we use the same thing for, that was the magnitude of the square, and for the pH scale in chemistry. Okay, so that means, so you have like 2 pH, like this. So you have 2 magnitudes, and you can explain them in terms of the intensity. And here we use the same thing. So we have 2 magnitudes of pH 1 and pH 2. So if you have 2 pH scales of pH 1 and pH 2, then that means I1 divided by I2 is equal to 10 to the power pH 1 minus pH 2, which is equivalent to saying that log of I1 over I2 is equal to pH 1 minus pH. Right?
Mm.
So, and let me just draw something. So we know that pH 7 is neutral, right?
Mm.
This is pH. This is 7 is neutral, like what for water. And then if the pH increases, that means you get more acidity. No, sorry, that's the back one. If the pH increases, that means it's more alkaline. Sorry, let me close the door. Sorry, guys. So for example, so it's pH of 2 is like for vinegar. Or pH of like 9. If you have 9 here, is for seawater. And so on and so forth. So if I ask you that comparing vinegar with like seawater, how much is vinegar more acidic than seawater?
The power of 10 to the power 7 times.
Yeah, so the vinegar is 10 to the power, if you compare vinegar with seawater, the vinegar, if you compare these two, the vinegar is 10 to the power 7 more acidic than the seawater, right? And similar to this, we also have the intensity of the sound, which is we usually measure in terms of bell. The bell is named after Alexander Graham Bell. I guess he was an American, or was he Canadian or American? Probably American. So yeah, so loudness or intensity of the sound of sounds. So we use a bell or sometimes decibel . That means 1/10 times bell. To measure the intensity of a sound. And the equation is similar. So I1, if you have two quantities like B1 and B2, then I1 over I2 is equal to 10 to the power B1 minus B2. That's in terms of bell. If you use decibel, so decibel we usually denote it by dB. dB means decibel. Decibel is 1/10 of a bell. So I1 over I2. If you measure in terms of decibel, that means dB1 minus dB2 over 10. So, for example, the magnitude of a conversation is about 60 decibel. So for a conversation is like 60 decibels. If I'll try to write here. So conversation is 60. So loudness of a conversation is about 60 decibel. And for a train whistle, is about 100 decibel. So how much is more intense the train whistle than the sound of a conversation? So these are in terms of the decibels. So if you want to use this formula, so you compare 100 decibels with 60 decibels. So that means I1 divided by I2 is 10 to the power 100 minus 60 divided by 10, right?
Mm,
So I1 over I2 is equal to what?
10 to the power 4.
10 to the power 4. That means 10,000.
1,000.
So that means the sound of whistle, train whistle, is 10,000 more stronger than sound of conversation.
Mm,
Okay. Any question?
mhm. No.
Okay. So we are almost done because we covered almost everything about the logarithmic and exponential functions. So let me go over some problems. You can ask, like, look at the problems that I sent you, the homework.
Mm,
You can ask me to do any of them if you want. So which one you want me to go over?
About question 5, I think it says the time t years relative to 2007. Does that mean t is the the
What question 5?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
the time t, does it means like when the year come to 2020, does t 13 or 2020?
2020. So it says question 5. It says the population of Canada in 2000 was about this. If the population is growing at a rate of 2.2% per year. Oh, that's the rate of growth. Okay, that's a good question. Okay. So let me do this. So we have for question 5, we know that the growing rate is, so I want everyone to look at question 5. Do you have the question 5? So the growing rate is 2.2% per year. So we know that. So the exponential model for any quantity like population is this. P is equal to initial population. I will call it P0. P0 means initial population. So here, for example, the initial population is the population in 2007, like 33 million, okay? Anyway, so the equation is P0 times e to the power KT. Okay, now what is P? This is P of T. P of T is equal to P0 e to the power KT. Now we have to find K if the growing rate is 2.2% per year. So P of T, what is P of T plus 1? P of T plus 1 is P0 e to the power KT. But according to this, after 1 year, the growth is 2.2%, right?
Mm.
And this is equal to P of T times 2.2, right? 2.2 over 100 plus P of T. Because that's the growth, and that's the, so you have to add to the original, right?
Mm.
Okay, so P of T plus 1 is equal to, oh, sorry, P of T, if you use the formula, is P0 K to the power T plus 1. Okay.
Mm.
But according to the last equation, if you look at the last equation, so I want to write P of T plus 1 in terms of P of T. So that means this is equal to P of T times 1. So it's 2.2%. 2.2% is 0.22. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That means, okay, P of T plus 1 over P of T is equal to 1.022. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So this is the relation between P of T plus 1 and P of T if the growth rate is 2.2% per year. Now let's use this in order to find K. And how to do that? Because we know that P of T plus 1 is P0 e to the power K times T plus 1. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let me just copy this and go to the next page. So P of t plus 1, I just use the equation to write it. It's P0 e to the power k times t plus 1. And P of t is just P0 e to the power kt. And this is equal to 1.022. Now, if you simplify, you get what? What is e to the power k times t plus 1 over e to the power kt?
It will become e to the power k equal to 1 point.
Right?
Mm.
Because when you divide two exponential, you have to subtract the exponents, right?
Mm.
This is equal to 1.022. So that means e to the power k is equal to 1.022. And that's basically, that's good because, or you can say that, by the way, this is equivalent to saying that k is equal to ln of 1.022. ln is the natural logarithm. Right?
Mm.
Anyway, so but this equation is very good. This is very helpful because I know that e to the power k is 1.022. So I can use this to rewrite the original equation because p is what? P is P0 and then e to the power kt is e to the power k to the power t, right?
Mm.
And I just saw that e to the power k is 1.022. So this is equal to P0 times 1.022 to the power t. Okay, so the lesson is that whenever, so here we got a lesson important. Whenever you have an exponential growth and the rate of a growth is like here, like 2%, okay?
Mm.
Then the equation for the population is P0 times 1.02 to the power t.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so very good. So we have the equation P of t is equal to P0 times 1.022 to the power t. Now you can use this formula to predict the population in the future. Because the time of the origin was 2007, right?
Mm.
And t, we measure t in year. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so 2007 is the original time. So that means t equal to 0. So 2006 is when t is equal to 1. Sorry, 2008. 2008, t equal to 1. 2009, t equal to 2. And so on and so forth.
Mm.
You want to find the population at any time, you use this. So for example, what is the population at 2010? That is P of 3. sorry, to the power 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. So what is the population? Tell me, what is the population at 2010? If the original population was 33 million, so P0 is 33 millions. So so that means P of 2010 is equal to P 33 times 1 point.
I think it's 35.2.
35.2, let me also compute. 33 million. So 33,000,000 times bracket 1.022 close bracket to the power 3 is about 35 million 2026 226,265 67, right? Okay, that was good. Any question about this?
Nope.
Okay, guys, so here there are 25 questions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to finish this today, okay?
Okay.
We can go do it together. If you are here in the school, we can do it together. I'm here from 1 to 3, okay?
Mm-hmm.